Airstrike.
That's about Kwame Brown and him responding to certain critics. For those of you who are, basketball aficionados, let me start off by saying that Kwame Brown was pretty much the epitome of somebody who is like a first-round draft pick, and due to circumstances, he didn't live up to the hype that was surrounding him, and pretty much got verbally abused because of it. So he's been quiet for 20 some years almost, it feels like. And now recently with, people, recently, talking about him. And I know that, on the All the Smoke podcast, Gilbert Arenas had some stuff to say about him. Steven Jackson had some comments. I think it was strictly about basketball. And Kwame Brown just went on a rampage. And, he went on a rampage basically putting them in their place after years of just dealing with verbal abuse. So I want to get your opinion on this, Kevin. And this first question that I have is, after being silent for years, is he justified for kind of retaliating verbally? Does it solve something?
I don't know if it solves anything, but I think that you don't need justification to defend yourself. If I think that it's bold to make so many statements, and it's so common in our culture now to speak about people or speak on things like we're doing right now. It's so common in our culture to speak about different things, but the other person not being present to defend themselves in the moment. So you can just go on and say whatever you want to say and not get verification on if it's okay, or if it's correct, not hear the input of the other person, not have to face the retaliation that you might physically, have to face in front of somebody else. I think that, you don't ever need, you don't need it to be justified to defend yourself. It's you. You know what I mean? So I'm like, nah, he's cool. It's cool. And it's the same means that everybody else was using, because I feel like he was talking kind of heavy, but it's the same. It's through the same medium. They should all speak in person, for real. That's going to be the best way to squash it.
Yeah, and I think that's the only way to go. I look at it like this, right? I've been in situations where my reputation or when people speak on my name, it's like there's basically smut thrown on my name. And I've been in situations where it's like, all right, you keep on doing this, I'm going at your neck. I don't have to cuss you out, but I am going at your neck because you're the last person to talk about me. Right. What I know about you. The thing that I don't understand is this, right? We sit over here and critique and ridicule and knock people down, and and it's become so the norm that we don't even realize we're doing it. And it's become so normalized that when somebody turns around, you got to keep in mind, this man has not said a word for 20 some years.
Right.
And every time his name comes up, you got sports analysts calling him a scrub. You got people that have played with him calling him a scrub. Here's a couple tidbits about that. The guy got to the league. There ain't too many. If you look at statistics, what he was able to accomplish despite not having a stellar NBA career, he did what very few people can do. He made it to the NBA. Nobody can take that away from him. However, if he was to turn around at 17 years old when he was playing with Jordan, when the Wizards signed him, and he said, yo, Jordan is talking abusive, back at that time in 2003, they would have been like, brother, you playing with Michael Jordan. What the hell are you complaining about? What are you talking about? So he was going to not be heard altogether anyway. And let's keep it. And this is another thing that people don't understand, right? Sometimes stuff in sports doesn't play out, not because sometimes it's not the players. Sometimes it's the front office. Sometimes it's the coaching that you surround these players with, that somewhere between that, it just doesn't connect and you don't have as much success. He might have been in those situations. So for 20 years, while that could have been the situation, you got everybody else calling him a scrub. So people are sitting over around here now twisting their whole neck around, be like, yo, why is he so pissed off? Why is he going at everybody? Because you done dogged this man out about his career for 20 years.
Yeah.
That's going to build up after a while.
Right. And I mean, it's somebody's life. Like, you say it like it's, like, oh, about his career. But I mean, for most people, especially you get to like a professional level like that, it's because it has become your life. There's not much else outside of it. And to play at an elite level, even if you're, 14, 15, 16, 17, that's what you do all day, every day. You hoop, you ball.